that story in the paper?
What story?
Yeah, what story?
There are 2 male hikers in Mount Everest. They got lost and were stranded for 20 days.
Yeah, I heard about that story.
What happened?
Well, one survived and the other died.
Oh no, that's awful. I bet the hiker that lived was strong and fit, and the hiker that died was obese and out of shape.
Actually, this was quite the opposite.
Well, what do you mean? I thought that if a person is muscular, strong, and healthy, that they could survive in any condition over a person who is obese, weak, and out of shape.
Well, let me explain. I learned something new in my natural science class 333 that actually might explain what happened in the story.
Oh, I took that class too.
What did you learn?
Well, have you ever heard of survival of the fittest?
Yes, doesn't it mean the person who is the strongest and biggest survives unforeseen situation?
Not necessarily. The survival of the fittest means a natural selection conceived as a struggle for life in which those organisms best adapted to existing conditions are able to survive and reproduce.
What does that mean?
Well, let me explain. This means that what makes an organism fit in one circumstance may not be fit in another.
Can you please explain this a little better? I really don't understand how obese and weak people will survive over a strong and physically fit person.
Well, it's not that they're weak, but living organisms that are well adapted to their environment survive and reproduce. Those that are not well adapted don't survive. And adaptation is any characteristic that increases fitness, which is defined as the ability to survive and reproduce.
So how is this related to hikers?
Well, there's a study conducted in June 2009, and the findings were that evidence that people who are overweight tend to live longer than people who are underweight, normal weight, or obese. People who are overweight but not obese actually live longer than those whose weight was considered normal based on the body index. Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that. How can that be? I thought being overweight was unhealthy.
I know this sounds crazy, but this research is not the first to suggest that those who carry a little but not too much extra weight tend to survive longer than people who don't. This is also the case in an environment where having more body fat allows them to survive better in the conditions.
I guess this is how the hiker who had more body weight was able to survive. But how is this possible?
Yeah, did you learn anything about body fat in your class?
Oh yes, I even did a little of my own research. The reason why a person who has more body fat survives longer is because fat has more energy per gram than protein, which is muscle, so it can last a long time.
Yeah, I learned that in class too, that being strong and in good physical shape can help you survive longer, but so does having extra body fat. The body stores energy needed in the form of fat, carbohydrate, and proteins. So in hiker's case, when their condition became desperate without any food to eat, first their carb were fuels, then their fat, and finally their protein. This explained that the obese hiker with more body fat was able to survive while the strong hiker has less body fat than not.
Well, this is kind of interesting. I think I'll gain some more body fat. One day I may be stranded somewhere and need that extra body fat to